Welcome to yet another update video. Now this one might be a bit longer, so I do apologize if it is, so let's get right into it. Now one of the most interesting things from this interview is actually what he says about Aqua. Now he says that he can't give too many spoilers or anything, but it does not mean that she cannot be saved. It all depends on the player, and they just have to try their best when it's time to actually choose. Now, this can mean quite a bit, but I think we may actually have some choice in characters' fates. Now, we do know that Riku as well as Mickey are looking for the key to return hearts, and so potentially that's how Roxas will return, as his heart is inside Sora. And since the Seekers are using Xehanort's heart, Sora could release them from his control and take down Xehanort for good. He could release Xehanort's heart from Aqua and potentially save Aqua in the process. Now I think that's really interesting, because he doesn't say that you can save her, he says that you can save her if you actually try to. So I'm kind of thinking, does that mean that we can kill her if we want to? I mean, I don't see why anyone would want to do that. Does that mean that we can save all of the Seekers of Darkness? Or does that mean we can only do it with Aqua? I think that's just a really interesting thing. However, when asked about original worlds, Nomura said that worlds are put into two categories, where you can go and where you can't. And where Kairi and Lee are, it's unaccessible for players, and that's just one example. There are also areas that only appear one time in the entire game, so there are plenty of places to explore. Now I imagine that one of those areas that only appears once is most likely Destiny Island, as that always seems to happen in every single game. I don't know why that is, but when someone does hack the game, we should be able to access any areas that are blocked off, which will be really interesting to see, as well as any cut content that may have been left in. However, Larxene talks about the new generation of princesses, and only Kairi is going to be still in that same group. Rapunzel, Elsa, as well as Anna are also going to be targeted, as they are potentially some of those new princesses of hearts. They are obviously the newer movies, which is kind of interesting. In the original games, they were the classic princesses, Cinderella, Snow White, Aurora, and so on. However, I was always curious, how are they going to introduce all of these new princesses? However, it seems like they're just going to replace the old ones, which I think is really interesting. I wonder how that's actually going to be explained in the lore, but Nomura also clarified that it is still 7 princesses, and no princes are among the new 7, but I do feel like that was an obvious thing, but at least now it is definitely cleared up, if anyone was potentially theorizing that Hercules might be one of those new 7. But with that being said, there are also no plans for a public demo, but there will be the chance at the Tokyo Game Show in Japan to play the demo there. Now, I definitely see why some people will be disappointed that there won't be a public demo. However, I completely understand why there isn't. Kingdom Hearts 3 recently has had a lot of leaks, and if they do release a demo, then that means that the game can be completely data mined, and all of the files can actually be stripped out and leaked online, and they're obviously going to try to prevent that, as like I said, there have been so many leaks already. They don't want any more of that, so they are going to try to prevent any more from occurring. I'm not saying that the Monsters Inc. leaks, the World of this leak, and all that stuff are the sole reason that they aren't going to be releasing a demo. I just feel like they don't want any leaks if they can actually help it, and taking out all of the files from the game to make a demo would be too much of a hassle, and it would just take way too much time than if you just wait for the actual game to release. However, if there is going to be any form of a demo, it will most likely come after the game itself releases. If there is a demo, it'll probably come after release. However, so far it does not seem like there are any real plans for a demo in general, so we'll just have to see when the time comes. But for now, the only way you can play the game is either going to E3, the Tokyo Game Show, or buying the game and waiting for the release. But with that being said, guys, I will see you in the next video.